Hi, this is my Get Ready With Me video for stage makeup, first project, basic corrective makeup. Here's my sheet. I'm just doing the basic foundation, highlight, shadow for the moment. I might attempt adding blush, and if I do decide to try that, then I'll update the sheet accordingly, but, I'm not messing with mascara or anything because I don't do makeup. And while I do have a thing now, I am kind of scared of trying to put that near my eye. So, yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'm using the basic Ultra Beige, from the Ben Knight kit, because it actually matches decently well. And then I'm using the Ben Knight Cream Highlight, and for the moment, just the basic, cream shadow. I may adjust or update the shadow specifically. The highlight I can't really adjust. It's either this or the white, which obviously I'm not going to use. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so from here forward, we're just sped up, and I'm recording this voiceover later. This video is about 500% speed, and it's still about 9 minutes pre-extra trims. I might see what I can cut to get it down a little more. But just start off with a primer. This is my first time actually using it. My mom bought it for me from a friend of hers who does Mary Kay, or sells Mary Kay, for this class. So I haven't really done that before, mainly because I haven't done much makeup outside of this class before. I've just been too lazy to bother learning or trying to do day-to-day. So then we start off with the Ultra Beige foundation, which is a very close match, all things considered. When I check it against my arm, you can only kind of see it, and when on my face, at least in the lighting that I've been working in previously, it's kind of hard to tell when it's been applied outside of, you know, where it evens out things a lot, or where it evens things out more noticeably, which is very convenient. I also picked up extra brushes, so you'll see me grabbing those from the box, to use during the rest of this, although I primarily use the brush that came in the box. As I mentioned in the original audio of this recording, I'm missing a couple of items from the original kit because I lent it to a friend of my brother's who was doing this class last year, during the winter semester, or the winter-spring semester, and I didn't think to check to make sure everything was in it when she returned it, but that's not a big deal. I can pick up an extra of the couple things that are gone now, and it's like one brush or like two brushes, and one of them was the one that had the scooper end. So, I did start with my hand, while doing the highlight. In a couple minutes, as soon as I finish the highlight, I will realize that I had a palette I could have been using this whole time, or remember I had a palette I could have been using this whole time. That would have saved time, trying to wipe off, my hand and trying to get the makeup feel off it later, but it's alright. And while I was working on this using only my phone camera, to see what I was doing, so things were a little more uneven than I would have liked. You'll notice that, the highlight, on my cheek and below the eye on my cheek, is a lot higher on one side, than on the other, and also, goes down a bit lower on that side. I'm gonna make plans to purchase a mirror so that when I'm working on these practice rounds in my room, at my desk, I have a proper mirror to, look at as well, so that I don't have to take up the bathroom when my roommates may need to be in there. So then switched over to the shadow, and as again, something mentioned in the original audio that has now been cut, I have either misplaced or fully lost my headband. Fortunately, I recently cut my hair, so it mostly stays out of the way. Not too bad when I push it back. I'm still going to want to pick up one of those, if I can't find my headband, to make things a little easier, but it wasn't too bad this time around. And you can kind of see while I'm trying to put in the shadow under the cheek, my attempts at making sure I've got it placed right in the right area. I'm very uncertain about how well I did that. You'll see how it turns out. But again, hopefully better lighting and a proper mirror will help with that in the final, or in in class. This is also why I'm looking at, afterwards I also did tests to see about possible mixtures or combinations that might be a better shadow color, while the plan for this look, or for today, is to continue with just using the basic shadow that's in the kit. In the future, I may consider mixing one of the slightly darker foundations with the shadow instead. Those ones turned out just a little bit lighter, and looked fairly decent when I was testing them. But I filled out my sheet in pen, unfortunately, so we are not changing for today, but going forward, that might be an adjustment. Also, trying to mix when I have the rounded brush end is a little difficult. You'll notice I nearly forgot the section of shadow by the on the sides of the nose and near the inside of the eye. I caught that only a couple seconds into trying to start blending, so it didn't turn out too bad. It was on the sheet, I just somehow missed it still. Then go in and start trying to blend it, and I'm not sure how well it went. I do think I need to pick up a larger brush maybe for doing that. And I haven't actually done much blending, especially with a brush. Looking back, I think I mostly finger blended or occasionally used a sponge, for a makeup sponge for it last year. I do think it turned out okay for an attempt at blending with a brush, but it took a little while to get it somewhat looking decent, and I'm still uncertain about how it turned out overall. But you'll see I still had to move my hair a little bit when it would fall back onto my forehead, but it still wasn't too bad. It still mostly stays out of the way. And again, I'll look at getting a new headband. It's just unfortunate that I didn't realize I lost it. And the blending really did take the longest. Again, mainly because it's the bit I was least confident in. Laying out the areas was mostly fine, but that was blending them out took longer, and I was less certain on how it turned out, how well it turned out. But that seems to be the whole video. So yeah, bye.